Welcome to Veterans Talkback. Hey there, my name is Louis Short, and I am on the phone today with Brad Williams. Without the 1% of the civilian population who goes out and volunteers, since we are all volunteer military. To me, I was in for 12 years, and I loved every minute of it. And I'm sure every military veteran feels the same way.
We had what we have called Pearl Harbor Day, and we had a pass around on Fort Allen, and we were rendered salutes by the last surviving members of the USS Arizona. And I can tell you what, there's not a day that don't go by that I don't think about that. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a brotherhood. There are things that we do 24 hours a day. It's like putting 7 pounds of chicken salad in a 6-pound bag. That's what we do.
That is what we do, yeah. And we may have we might have a little bit of a rivalry between each branch, but it's all in good fun. Just like saying Marines eat crayons. We all know that isn't true, but we give each other hell. But it's still a brotherhood where we all have respect for each other.
Yeah, it's excuse my language, but it's a damnedest thing. It's something that will never leave you. It's a brotherhood that is earned, and I've got, once I think about it, I'll look at my DD-214 or some medals or stuff every now and then, and all the kind of stories and we've done it, we've been through, and things that we've seen. It's something that, we all know that if you're having a hard time, sometimes you push forward because you've been through this. We've done things. You push forward. The only easy day was yesterday, and you keep moving on. And I wouldn't change it for anything.
I wouldn't either.
And for you,
I wouldn't change it for anything either. And we can also, if we have a person that served in the military other than our own military, they know what we've done as well. Like the British or the Australians. We can have that camaraderie with those even though we didn't serve in the same military.
Yep. It's a damn feel. It's that thing, you can't really explain it, but it's the same thing. It's always a brother and a sisterhood, and it's funny because it's 2017. I enlisted in 2000. 17 years later, I'm still involved, and I'm still a part of everything. It's it's like it's brothers in arms. That's what we do.
That's what that's definitely what we do, and we also look out for each other and make sure that our brother, even if he's 1,000 miles away, we make sure he's okay.
And it's kind of like the really nice thing about the conversation we're having now is I'm here doing this, and so it's a beautiful thing to be part of, but it's a community that we are involved with. And anything that you can do to help your brothers and sisters out is a wonderful thing, because I'm a recipient. I am, because somebody gave a damn about me, and that's the strength of the whole situation. It's just a beautiful thing, and at the end of the day, you have to have your backs. You have to. You got to look, who's close to you, and I can say 99.9% are veterans around me, because we get it. you know, and it's just like the damn few. That's what we are, you know. It's good stuff.
We are because, like I said earlier, only 1% of the civilian, only 1% of the population, if that, will even bother to sign up and defend our country. We've got people out there now protesting because they just want to protest. They don't want to try to fix anything, but if they feel that they're being violated, they want the military to step in or whatever. But they don't want to volunteer to help with the military.
You know, it's like, that's what kind of bugs me. I don't want to get into it, but I've been to countries and I've seen so much suffering. And here, it's like, it's almost a right just to bitch and protest. And it's like, you have no idea how good you've got it. You know, so, and you're using it the wrong way. You know, it's like, I remember, I went to India, and I will never forget this. And it's just nuts. I'll never forget, we were in India. I think was it Mumbai or, anyway, this lady, she must have looked like 55 or 60 years old. She had this baby in her arms. And she came up right to me, and she goes, please take my baby back to America. That actually happened to me. And I'm like, I had to keep walking. I had to keep going on. And so when you hear all these protests, you know, now that are going on here, it's like, it does upset me because I think a lot of the people don't have any, you know, how good they have it. You know, they do have a right to protest and everything else, which is respectable, but it's, you know, they just don't have a clue. So, but, you know, at the end of the day, you do the best you can. You know, you do good things. You know, you just be the best that you can be.
That's all any of us. That's all any of us can do, and that had to be a gut wrenching feeling, though, to hear that Indian lady say, "Please take my baby back to America with you." Though that had to be gut wrenching.
It was like there were these huge steps, and it's like the thing is the gates of India somewhere around there, or whatever, and I was just like, but she was going from everybody because we're Americans because we were the whitest people on that port, and it was about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, and she was going to everybody, just begging, and I couldn't imagine what it was like just to give up that much hope to do that as a mom or mother, and so yeah, I mean. You know, with the protests and things like that now, they won't. No, I don't think they get it. You know, so but unless they go overseas somewhere and they can see how good they have it, they'll never know.
Right, and
you know something.
But they don't need to go to Europe because Europe is pretty much set up like we are. They need to go to a country like Egypt or somewhere like that where they can actually see the suffering of what women go through on a daily basis or what the handicapped go through on a daily basis, where they're rejected or they're told, hey, you have to cover up from head to toe.
Yep. I remember, I'll never forget this. I went to Thailand. I've been to Thailand twice. And the amount of kids that are just exploited out there in Thailand is terrible. I mean, it's like, you know, you have like a caste society, and it means you're rich or you're poor. And even if you're poor, if you're a kid, you know, you might as well say fuck school because, you know, there's none of that. You know, you're out there doing, you know, pretty much hard labor at 9 and 10 years old, you know, and once you get maybe 15 or 16, you're burnt out and you're into drugs or prostitution or anything else. And that's the way, in like a lot of the countries, not every country, but it's hard to see that kind of stuff. So, but
I can imagine it being very hard to see. I can't say that I've seen it.
It was shocking because you see, it's just a hard. I wouldn't say the third world country kind of thing, but it's just you have to get yours every day when you wake up, and unfortunately, the circumstances out there in places like that aren't good. Like in India, I've been to India, and it's the same thing out there. But with the riots, I would say you were protesting out here. I mean, they pull that off in like these other countries. There won't be a second time because they don't get to do that out there. So
no, in other countries they would be killed or put in jail if they went out and protested their leadership.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
So to me, the United States, to be able to have that right to go out and protest, we're in a lot better shape than most of these people even realize.
Yeah, it's it is. It's just things are going to change. Obviously, like we're all getting older and whatnot, and we're kind of seeing what's going on. But best thing anybody can do, I would say, is just get up every day and do the best that you can do for yourself and for your friends and your family, and you do the best thing. And if you can pull that off, then you can worry about everything else around you.
Right, and that's the best way to look at it. If you take care of yourself and you can pull the stuff off that you need to pull off, you're going to be able to pull off other things as well. And that's one of the best ways to look at it.
Like there's an old saying, the world is full of good people. If you can't find one, be one. And that's all you got to do. You got to try. There's so many, like in the military, like we've both seen, we've seen a lot. So you could spend time worrying about all the stuff, that's going on or that you've seen, and yada yada. Or we can take the time and live your life. It's a hard decision to make sometimes because you want to do good things for other people, but you got to live your life at the same time. But if you live it, do good. Do good things. Just simply do good things. And enjoy the life that you got when we got out. Because, our life is different. So when you get out, you do the best that you can. You keep pushing forward. You always pay attention to detail. I don't care if you're 100 years old. You pay attention to detail. You look for people. If they need help, that's what you do. You look for your fellow veterans. You talk to them and you listen. That's what you do. And any day above ground is a good day.
I will definitely agree with that. Any day above ground is definitely a damn good day.
Every day. So that's what you have to do. It's hard sometimes. It's always going to be hard, but that's where you keep going.
And sometimes you just got to suck it up and drive on, even if you're not in the mood to do that.
Yeah, if somebody told me 20 years ago I was going to be a petty officer, second class, United States Navy, I would have told them, like, you're full of, you know what, get out of here. And, and I did that. And I'm proud of it. I'm a sailor. I'm a proud Navy veteran. And that's what I did. You know, and I have shipmates who we still talk to this day, 15 years later. You know, I was watching the parts of the movie Band of Brothers. Cool thing about Band of Brothers, that was Camp Curry in Tacoma, Georgia. And when I moved from South Carolina, that was about 15 miles from where I lived. So we got to go to Camp Curry, which, you know, the E company, Band of Brothers, came from, so on. But anyway, you know, we're all going to look back when we're older and go, those are my shipmates. Those are my soldiers. Those are my Marines or my airmen, so on. And so we did that. It's a Band of Brothers. That's what we do.
It is definitely a brotherhood, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Or brother and sisterhood, because we can't forget about the women who serve these days either.
Oh, no.
Because
my first chief, her name was Helga Green. She was about 5'2", and she was the one who destroyed me in boot camp because I'm 6'5", and she was like 5'2". And she would lift my rack up, turn it sideways, crawl on top of that rack, and drill and push me to the day I couldn't even move anymore.
She would take you down at the knees every time.
Every time. She would crawl on me like a spider monkey.
I had a drill sergeant like that.
But you know, it's a funny thing, you know, and it's a good thing about this like podcast we're doing here is like there's so much brotherhood and sisterhood out there, and we get it. It's like you don't talk about it. It's like you don't talk about Fight Club, but we got it. That's what we do. You know, and so it's a beautiful thing. It is.
It is definitely a beautiful thing. That is for sure.
You know, it's you know, I got your 6 tattoo for your 86. I got that about a month ago because somebody had mine, and it's something about what you went through, and you don't have to explain everything. It's like sometimes you can just sit down and listen and not have to say anything, and just let them talk. Let them talk about the stories, what they've gone through, everything.
And that,
you know, we are our. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's what the purpose of this podcast is about: to get more veterans to be able to say, "Hey, I did this. I know what you've been through."
Yeah.
If hearing my story can help a brother out, I'm all for it.
You know, it's like I've got 2 good ears, and they're really good for listening. That's what I tell people. You know, and it's like I'm always willing to listen, anytime. And you know, it's funny because like the movie with the box said Band of Brothers, because when I lived in South Carolina, we were so close to Camp Curry in Tacoma, Georgia. I just moved from South Carolina to Nebraska about 4 months ago, so that's my hometown. But anyway, I was infatuated with the movie, especially on my first 2 deployments. And there was that one part, and they were in the foxhole, and they were so cold. And they shared a chocolate bar. They shared a chocolate bar together when they were in, I think, Boston, I think in France, I think when the Germans were attacking them. And they shared a chocolate bar. And I think a pair of socks and some coffee. That's what I'm talking about. It's that kind of stuff, that kind of, you know, brotherhood and sisterhood.
Exactly.
If I can't walk a mile longer, you're going to scare me out, you know, either or push me to walk a mile and a half further because you know I can do it, or you can do it, or so on. So,
and if
yeah, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And if you've got somebody that's injured or hurt that can't do that mile or whatever to get to help, you know you've got somebody next to you that's going to get you there no matter what.
Yeah. You pick them up and, you're never too heavy. You're never too heavy. You're never too heavy. That's, so, that's what you do. Yeah, so, I guess look at my story here. It's kind of like a great interview, I guess. I've never done this before, but yeah.
Hey, this has been a great interview, and I'm going to have that. I think that's probably good for now because we're at 46 minutes, which I'll probably break down to 3 different podcasts, if that's okay with you for me to break it down like that.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to be adding I'm going to add the intro to Throwaway to it at the beginning. And get that set up and should be up tomorrow, if not sooner, where everybody can listen.
Just kind of tag me into it because I probably sounded like a rambling idiot the whole time.
Oh no! Hey, that's what this podcast is for, is so that people can hear the story.